Stiddy gazed intently at his teacher. Her alabaster neck, alluring and refined, sparked unbidden fantasies in his young mind. Using a dictionary return as his excuse, he let his hand brush her thigh in passing. Her sophisticated pencil skirt, so elegantly worn, had him completely transfixed. When their eyes suddenly locked, he nervously gulped, his composure shattered. From that moment on, Fiona consumed his thoughts completely. During breaks, and after final bell, he would secretly observe her movements. Even in silent study periods, he'd manufacture reasons for interaction. In moments of solitude, he would press his lips to the chair she'd occupied, imagining he could capture her essence. The true turning point in their connection arose from an unexpected circumstance. When the class president called in sick, Fiona needed assistance retrieving materials from the map room. Stiddy eagerly seized this golden opportunity. They ascended the staircase, one behind the other, her form-fitting skirt accentuating every curve, his gaze never wavering from her silhouette. Rounding a corner, he accidentally snapped the wall railing. Fiona initially moved to help repair it, but spotted the principal passing nearby, instinctively pushing Stiddy into the shadows. Realizing the awkwardness, she began to explain, but their proximity overwhelmed his restraint. Summoning his courage, he claimed her lips. To his surprise, she yielded to the moment. After their passionate exchange, Fiona turned away, flustered, then led him hurriedly to a storage closet. While pretending to search for supplies, they gravitated inevitably closer. Fortuitously, footsteps approached from the hallway, forcing them deeper into the shadows. In that dim sanctuary, they finally expressed their unspoken desires. Later in class, Stiddy absently touched his tingling lips, stealing glances at Fiona, lowering his eyes when she smiled in his direction, emboldened by her apparent consent. Soon after, he ventured audaciously to her doorstep. Seeing her bold student's arrival, Fiona's cheeks flushed crimson. Only after they were safely inside did she surrender to his touch. That afternoon brought mutual satisfaction. Wei also gained intimate knowledge of his teacher's world, learning her husband's vehicle description and the safest times for their rendezvous. Lost in conversation, neither noticed Frank's car pulling into the driveway. Stiddy was still savoring his refreshment when keys jangled in the lock, sending him scrambling for cover. Fortunately, Frank entered none the wiser. Stiddy planned his escape during a moment of distraction, but Frank unexpectedly turned, leaving Stiddy frozen without explanation. Frank, however, assumed no impropriety, merely concluding Stiddy was there for English tutoring. Stiddy quickly embraced the alibi, managing a narrow escape. When Fiona emerged disheveled, she discovered Frank had returned, casually adjusting her clothing, as though nothing had transpired, when everything had changed between them. With Fiona's guidance, Stiddy gradually unraveled adult mysteries. Their exchanges grew increasingly frequent. Even during lectures, they communicated through meaningful glances. One sleepless night, Stiddy felt drawn irresistibly to Fiona's residence. Barely inside, Frank rose unexpectedly for a midnight bathroom visit. Stiddy fled in terror, back to his bed, still wide awake, yet unwilling to sever their connection. On her birthday, he deliberately delivered flowers, unaware. Frank harbored similar intentions. Stiddy waited for an unobserved moment to add his bouquet to the vase, marking his territorial claim. Perhaps emboldened by their continued secrecy, their encounters grew increasingly daring.